Thanks for watching. We appreciate you. Please, please subscribe.
Five most populous jurisdictions, including Baltimore City and Baltimore County, lost population over the past year, according to annual estimates from the U.S. Census Bureau. Well, according to The Sun, Baltimore City's population declined by 7,000 people, or 1.2%, the biggest percentage drop in the state. The city's estimated population is 569,930. As people continue to move out of the city, many are wondering how this exodus will impact the local economy. Dr. Darius Arani, Vice President of Strategic Partnerships and Applied Research at Towson University, joining us live this morning to weigh in. Dr. Arani, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So we want to start out, Dr. Arani, with the factors causing people to move out of the city. We certainly know crime is one of them, but what are your thoughts? Because this isn't a new thing necessarily, right?
No, since the 1950s, Baltimore City has been losing population steadily. I mean, 1950s population neared about a million population in Baltimore City, and ever since then, so at the turn of the millennium here, it was about 650,000. So now down to about 562 as most recent data. So a lot of that has been due to household size changes. So in the 1950s, it might have been a household size closer to 4. Now it's closer to 2, 2.5, because we have a lot of empty nesters coming into the city. If you look at Harbor East and some of the newer developments, many of those households are just two individuals. So that's going on there. But to be sure, there are many factors that are causing the decline in population, or even in some cases accelerating. So obviously, quality of public schools has been a huge concern for many households. We saw an hourglass shape, so young people would move into the city, and then once their kids became of school age, they would move out to the surrounding counties. And then once they would retire, they would come back into the city. Also, public safety. I mean, it's a numerous issue. Now, it's been going on for as long as I've been here in Maryland. There's been challenges in Baltimore City to ensure public safety for all of its citizens. So when you look at places like Harbor East and Fells Point, there's a significant police presence, but when we start going into the middle of the city, oftentimes that is where the majority of the crimes are committed by very few individuals who are targeting their own citizens for gain. And this creates a fear factor. So many households are, in fact, leaving the city if they can, going to Randallstown, going to Hagerstown, as far as they can get to look for a safe place to raise their kids in a great area, to also ensure that they have great access to public schools.
And so let's talk about the economic impact of that. How is that going to impact businesses in our city and county and their abilities to thrive with people leaving?
So, in some cases, we are replacing, younger households with older, more affluent households. So if you look at the growth in Harbor East and the area around the harbor, there's been a significant economic impact of that changing in population, changing in demographics. But once you start going into the upper portion of the city, just below Guilford and other places, it's very dire. So there's lack of job opportunities, which then kind of feeds into the cycle of lack of public safety, lack of infrastructure, lack of transportation, and then it just kind of spirals down. So what ends up happening is we kind of almost get a hollowing of the core of the city. The most, and many jobs in the city are service sector basis. So we do need a population of individuals who can sort of start in those jobs and move into higher types of jobs. But if we're basically having people flee the city because of concerns around public safety and education, the workforce that is going to be necessary to support many of these businesses that would like to locate in the city are not going to be there.
All right, Dr. Arani, thank you so much for weighing in. We'll continue.
Thanks for watching. We appreciate you. Please, please subscribe.